Hello and welcome to AIC Productions. This is an update video for this HP laptop. My previous video was pretty popular. It's gotten almost 1,000 views in less than 10 days, which I'm really excited for. Thank you. But I keep getting asked the same few questions over and over again. First question I get asked is, can it game? So I'm going to go ahead and do some gaming on this. I also get asked, what is its disk performance on it? And I get asked, how will it perform if I add more memory or an SSD to it? So I'm going to do some performance testing with how I have it currently set up, which is the base system plus just a 500 gig hard drive, so I could actually install some stuff on it. I'm going to do some gaming. I have Guild Wars 2, I have MineCraft, I have MineCraft Windows 10 version, I have some Steam games that I'm going to play on here. They're not necessarily going to be what you play on there, but it'll give you an idea of what kind of performance you can expect out of this machine. This is not a gaming machine, but if it can play some games while being mobile, that's a plus. Now I did grab a new performance test because I wanted something that could test individual items so that you could compare how it is now versus how it will be after I do the upgrades. I do not want to compare this against other machines necessarily because this is a $200 laptop. And of course a $200 laptop is not going to be as fast as say an $800 laptop. But it's only $200, which allows you to throw in some upgrades that allow it to be a hopefully more powerful system and not cost you an arm and a leg. So one of the first things I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and show you the gaming, but after that I'm going to do some upgrading. So for the SSD, I grabbed this off Amazon. It was $58, I think it's $57.99. It's an AirEyes S1 240 gigabyte SSD. It had 1 day or same day free shipping Prime for me. It's one of the reasons why I got it. And the price, it was one of or the cheapest SSD in this size range. I didn't want to get another 128 gig because I didn't feel like that's been enough on my other systems. I have 128 gig SSD in, and any more than 240 gigs and the price went up exponentially. So I'll go over the SSD more in the next video when I actually have it installed and we can talk about it. So just to go over to some performance. Now one thing about this computer, as you can see, it does have a gloss screen. I know that bugs some people a lot on this machine with the resolution that it has. I definitely think I'll put up with the gloss screen, and where I would normally prefer a matte screen. But I'll just go over some of the benchmarks that came up here when I ran the benchmarking test, if the camera will decide to focus for me. Let's see here. Will it focus if I do this? No, it doesn't want to focus on the screen. Let's zoom in a little bit more. I apologize. There we go. Okay, so just for comparison of, again, how this computer is versus the world I don't care about. It's going to be this computer versus itself. So pass mark 870. All we care about are the scores. 2126 for the CPU. Now I do not expect this to change because we're not going to be changing anything with the CPU. Same with the next two. We're not changing out any of the graphics. So 198 for 2D and 333 for the 3D. Now these two may change and hopefully change for the better. 621 for the memory and 690 for the disk. So this computer overall, according to this performance benchmark, is within the 18th percentile. Now I apologize for using an external camera. This is not a laptop that you're going to be able to do streaming with. It's not powerful enough for that, unless you use an external box. I have one. The mic port on it doesn't work. I would use that, except for the mic port doesn't work. It's actually a really nice system. I need to get that working. So anyways, but if you look up here in this corner, the little red number is 18th, so it's 18th percentile. The lower the number, the worse the computer is. The higher the number, the better the computer is. I may run this benchmark against the other systems I have just as a comparison, but for now I'm only comparing this system against itself for when we do those upgrades. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the first game. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play your basic MineCraft, just the normal Java install version. All I've done is installed Java, and I've installed MineCraft, and so let me go ahead and get that booted up, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open up a single player. We're going to create a new world. Just go ahead and create new world so you can see how long it takes to load. And again, you can see me very well in the glossy screen. Let me see if I turn off one of my lights. There we go. That might also help the camera focus better on the computer screen there. Okay, now this does take a little bit longer to load than it does on my other more powerful systems. I don't know if a faster hard drive or a faster graphics card will help that. We'll see that here when we actually go. First things first, I need to go options. I'm going to change controls, invert mouse on. So I have not made any change. I've installed just the current version of Java. Oh. And one thing about this is you have to hit the function key to actually get the F keys. So hit F3 gives us our frames per second. And it's bumping between 20 frames, 22 frames, and 18-ish frames. There's 25 frames. So one thing I've noticed with MineCraft is if you're in an area that you've been in and it's kind of loaded all the chunks, it plays much more quickly. If you're underground, it usually plays much more quickly just because it's trying to have less to display. Around about 24 frames a second. Now I know some people will say that this is not playable. I've had that comment in my videos in the past. Again, this is not a gaming computer. It is a $200 computer. And, well, now we're getting 33 frames a second now that we're out of the grass. Grass hurts performance quite a bit. And there were animals over there. There was some rabbits and cows. So now we're not displaying those. We're getting almost 30 frames per second. 25 currently. 24, and that's because it's drawing some new chunks there. So now I'm going to go in, I'm going to go to options and video settings. We're going to drop it from fancy to fast, and we'll drop the draw distance or the render distance to 10 chunks just to see what that does for us for performance. Now we're up over 36 frames a second, 29 frames a second, 36 frames, 37. So it definitely made a big improvement in frame rate, and I don't think that has that big of an effect on the visuals, especially if you are looking for just a casual gaming on this system. Go ahead and get rid of the display there so you can see. Now, I would call this extremely playable. Very happy with its performance. Now, the fan did kick on, and it is slightly warm under the keyboard. Now, I did also just finish performance or bench testing it, which does push it pretty hard, but I would not call it uncomfortably warm at all. It's just slightly warm. You can tell that there is a laptop under your hand that is generating some heat. So I've noticed with this laptop that it doesn't ever get really warm in my experience so far with it. Even when I'm gaming or if I'm one of the worst things you can do is, like, if you're laying on your bed or something and the laptop's just on the bed, so it doesn't get a lot of ventilation, this just exhausts out the side. There's no actual intake, so it kind of pulls from all around the system, and the fan never gets super loud or super fast, unlike some of the other systems I have. So I think it does better cooling because it's not trying to pull air from the bottom of the system. So if you set it on a soft surface like on a bed or on your lap, it doesn't seem to get as hot, which is nice. And it does vent out the left side of the keyboard. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and exit. This is, again, the Java-based version of Minecraft. I'm going to go ahead and exit this, and we'll go into the Windows 10 version of Minecraft, so you can have that comparison. Alright, we're going to pick up where we were playing before, and we're going to go ahead and create a new world. I'm going to make it survival. I'm going to create the world. Now, again, this is the Windows 10 version of Minecraft. It is not running Java, and in my experience, this runs way better on these lower end machines. It's so much faster. You get a much higher frame rate now. You don't get all the plugins, you don't get all the add-ons that you get out of the standard Java-based version of Minecraft. But again, if you're doing casual gaming and you just want to do a survival Minecraft that you play on your lunch breaks at work, or you're a student and you want to have some time between classes, as you can see, this has a much higher frame rate. I haven't had to do anything to improve graphics at all, and it's extremely playable. So if you are playing Minecraft and you just like playing a vanilla version, this version has been updated significantly, and it's much closer to the Java-based version as far as its features and specs. Now, one thing that's happening, and you probably can't see, but I can tell, is I am touching every now and then the mouse pad with my left hand by accident, which is, I had to adjust my left hand just slightly, so I quit doing that. And that's one thing I wish this laptop had, is a way to turn off the touchpad with a single click. I don't know if there's a way to do it in software. I haven't looked, but on all my other HP computers there's been a quick way to turn off the touchpad, and this does not have that, so that would have been a nice addition. That probably wouldn't have cost much, if anything at all, a few pennies per system. So anyway, so this is, again, Minecraft Windows 10 version. Now, if you had bought Minecraft previously, for a while they were letting you pick up this version for free. I don't know if that's still the case. Obviously I can't check that because I already own it. But if you've purchased Minecraft before, so you have the full Java-based version, you were able to get this for free. I would check to see if you can still do that. Depending on when you watch this video, it may or may not be available still to do that. But if it is, definitely pick it up because it's free. You've already basically paid for it, so you might as well take advantage of that. And again, on these lower end systems, it just runs so much better, and they keep releasing updates which just make it better and better. And I am very happy. The only thing is, I wish you could do a server-based game, which, as far as I can tell, there isn't one at this time that you can have a Minecraft server. You can invite others to your game, but you can't just have a server running like you can with the Java-based version. So I hope that does change here soon. That's one of the things I like to do, is have my wife and I play together. So I'll go ahead and stop this game, and I'll load up the next game. Now, the next game we're going to load up is Guild Wars 2. This is an MMO, very similar to the games like WoW. I personally find that Guild Wars 2, at least since the last time I played WoW, which was many years ago at this point, Guild Wars 2 is a much more graphically appealing game to me personally, and so I have gone ahead and I play Guild Wars 2. I also just like the gameplay better, but that's of course personal preference. Now, I have been playing this game on this computer, and I did turn the graphics down all the way, but by doing so, we'll go ahead and go to options. My frames per second are down here, and it might be a bit small to see, but I'm getting about 30 frames a second, 23 frames, 25 frames, 21, 23, 26, 28, 29. So it's definitely within that playable range. I say anything that's over 20 frames a second on a non-gaming machine, I consider to be playable for the most part. It's something that, you know, if you're just going to sit down for, you know, 30 minutes to an hour, and you're mobile, this is very playable. It's still very much enjoyable. It may not be as amazing as it would be on a more powerful machine, such as my desktop, which has, you know, a couple of graphics cards in SLI. You know, it obviously is going to do a better job than this machine that has an integrated graphics card. However, again, this is playable, and that's what we're going for with this machine. Is we just want to be able to play our favorite games when we're out and about, and that's exactly what I think you can do with this machine. I've played Guild Wars on here, or excuse me, Guild Wars 2 on here for a couple hours, and I was perfectly happy with my experience. I didn't feel like I was losing out too much in the experience with the graphics. Again, they are on the lowest setting, so they're not as pretty as they could be. And I can turn up ones here or there that don't affect graphic performance too much, but that's more work. I don't think it improves it enough. So, improves visuals enough. So I'm just going to keep it on the lowest settings for Guild Wars 2. Go ahead and exit out. And that is Guild Wars 2. Go ahead and load up Steam, and we'll go over some more games. Alright, so my Steam library is not very big. I kind of tend to play the same games over and over again once I find a game I like. So I have Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Final Fantasy 7, Portal, Portal 2, and a couple Star Wars games currently installed on here. So probably the newest game I have on here is Portal 2. Now this is an older game. I recognize that it's an older game. Came out, probably at least 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. But I'm not even going to try to play a AAA title on this game. I know it's not going to play well, if at all. But this game definitely is a favorite of mine. So I play it a lot, so for me it's important. And maybe it helps others know what kind of graphics you can expect out of this machine. Now, one thing to say with this machine is it is driving more pixels. So regardless of what game you're playing, it may seem like it might not be getting as good of graphics, but it's driving twice as many pixels as other systems. So within the same price range. So anti-aliasing, none, filtering, trilinear, wait for vertical sync is enabled, multi-core rendering enabled, shader detail very high. I'm not changing any of these. These are the default settings. Keyboard mouse, reverse mouse enabled. Okay. That's a big thing I wanted to check. I'll just load up where our last was. I don't even remember. I haven't played this game in a while. Now, one thing I have noticed on the machine is loading is quite slow. I have these installed on the second hard drive I have installed on this machine. It's just a 500 gig, 5200 RPM laptop hard drive. Hopefully, my expectation with the SSD is loading times should be significantly faster with the SSD. That's spinning hard drive is pretty dang slow. So let's see, I don't even know where I need to go from here. I think I need to get over there. Oh, if I can. There we go. If you haven't played Portal 2, it's probably one of the best games ever. Between the humor and the overall gameplay, it's very enjoyable. And here we come to loading again. It's very slow on this machine. Every other computer I've played this on, that I shouldn't say every other. The other computers I typically play on have SSDs in them, and loading times is significantly faster. Or they have SSHDs, so the hybrid drives, and those are faster as well. And I would consider this game to be very playable. So we'll call this good for now. So those are the games I have. If you're interested in another game that I do not have, I will take gifted Steam games. Happy to try those out. And let me see, I'll probably see if there's a free one. I believe Team Fortress 2 is free, so I may throw that on here, or CSGO. I don't know if that's free or not. Let me see what's free, and I will throw that on here and do one more segment here. So give me a few and I will be back. Alright, just for you, I have installed Dota 2. I've never played this game before. And so we're just going to get into it. I have no idea what I'm doing. And probably make a bunch of people mad at me. Turn some music on. Battle Cup. Nope, can't do that. No. So excuse me, I have no idea what I'm doing. Play Dota 2. Practice with bots. Bot difficulty passive. Solo. Start match bottle. And I've turned off all the lights in my room, hopefully, or my office. Hopefully, it's a lot easier to see what's going on the screen. Looks better to me. And as usual, I don't know if this is connecting over the internet. That's taking a minute. I have a pretty good connection now. I used to have a terrible connection, but now I have a pretty good connection. Or if it's loading files off my computer. It's a fairly big download, and I was actually surprised how big it was.
Pick. Silence. Prepare for battle. Agreed.
So this reminds me, I haven't played in a long time, of
Very well.
Warcraft 3.
That was my thought.
So I'm not going to actually play the game because I don't know what I'm doing.
Good enough.
But it definitely seems quite
30 seconds to battle.
quite playable. I mean, I wouldn't complain about this at all as far as playing. I don't know what the graphics are currently set to.
The battle begins. I'm notched, I'm taut, I'm ready to fly.
Just see if I can go into video options here. Use my monitor's current resolution. Use advanced settings. So it's set on fastest. So just bump it up a notch just for kicks and giggles.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
But yeah, I'm happy with this.
So be it.
Having never played the game before.
Way ahead of me. Way ahead of me.
Alright, so I've died, so I'm going to go ahead and end it there. It's probably good enough.
That is just
Yeah, go ahead and disconnect. So, yeah, gaming performance of this system has been very acceptable to me for what I use it for. Again, we're not playing AAA titles that came out in the last couple of years. You can't expect to play that with a $200 laptop. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to end this video now, or in a few moments, and then I'm going to do this same test again in the next couple of days with the SSD in it, just to see if that, and more memory. I'm going to put in probably 16 gigs of memory, as well as the SSD. And just to see what the performance difference is. I'm going to run that same performance tester on there. I'm going to run the same games and just to see what performance we get out of it. So far very happy. One thing that I should expect with an SSD over the spinning hard drive is better battery life. SSDs typically consume significantly less electricity. So if you have a laptop, and this is just in general, that has a spinning hard drive and you want to boost overall battery performance out of it, you definitely can do that with an SSD. It will give you a bit more. It's not earth-shattering more battery life, but it is a significant difference. So if you have any questions about these games I've played, if you have any questions about the system itself, definitely let me know. Also, I'm going to have a link to this laptop on Amazon in the description. If you are considering buying this laptop or anything for it on Amazon, use my link. Takes you to Amazon. I get a little bit of what you purchase. It helps me out, helps me make these videos. That's how I was able to purchase this laptop, is from that money I got from Amazon. I don't use that for anything other than to be able to make these videos, to bring you these reviews. So I appreciate that, and thank you for watching. Again, leave your comments down below. Happy to answer any questions to the best of my ability, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.